Critics are blasting Donald Trump this morning as he tries to justify tighter scrutiny of American Muslims. The Republican presidential frontrunner says he saw people celebrating on 9/11.
I watched when the World Trade Center came tumbling down. And I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering.
The fact-checking website PolitiFact says Trump's claims defies basic logic. And the mayor of Jersey City says Trump is plain wrong. He tweeted, quote, "Jersey City doesn't want to be part of the Donald Trump hate campaign."
Donald Trump is receiving some of his toughest criticism from some news outlets that are usually friendly toward Republicans. Jan Crawford is in Washington with how one of the world's most powerful media moguls is behind the attacks. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning. So, it's Trump versus the Wall Street Journal, Trump versus Fox News. But what we're really talking about is Trump versus Rupert Murdoch and the GOP establishment.
Some call it a grudge match between two billionaires.
Fox is a family company.
The media tycoon versus the flamboyant deal maker.
Thank you.
Who happens to be a leading candidate for president.
From the very beginning, Rupert Murdoch has been skeptical and concerned about a Donald Trump candidacy.
Murdoch hasn't tried to hide it. On Twitter, he rails against Trump. When is Donald Trump going to stop embarrassing his friends, let alone the whole country? But the gloves really came off when one of Murdoch's premier properties targeted Trump.
This is one of the worst trade deals.
After the most recent Republican debate, the Wall Street Journal, owned by Murdoch, said in an editorial that Trump's take on the trade deal was flat out wrong. It wasn't obvious that he has any idea what the deal involves. Trump, in the Journal's words, went bananas over the editorial.
I'm suggesting that the Wall Street Journal editorial board doesn't know what they're talking about, that they're third rate.
You may have noticed that Trump said that on Fox Business Network, which also is owned by Murdoch. And despite Murdoch's efforts, continues to give Trump a big platform.
You have all of these, sort of titans at the height of their game are all dancing around each other. And so far, Trump seems to be, no one has been able to take him down.
Or to count him out. Complaining he had been treated very badly, Trump met last week with the Journal editorial page to try to clear the air. The paper said it got the full Donald.
The Wall Street Journal is seen as representative of or close to business. And business is not happy with Trump when it comes to trade, immigration, and other issues.
Trump's numbers were slipping, but the world changed with the Paris attacks. His message again is resonating with the people. The latest polls show him with a commanding lead, and voters who lean Republican say they overwhelmingly trust Trump to deal with the threat of terrorism. Trump's kept the upper hand in part because he's not dependent on traditional conservative media. He takes his message directly to voters on Twitter, and he's found an audience with anti-establishment conservative commentators like Ann Coulter, Mark Levin, and Laura Ingraham. The night of the Paris attacks, Coulter predicted Donald Trump was elected president tonight. And on a radio show, Ingram gives him a warm welcome.
Where is President Trump on ground troops, another American ground force in the Middle East?
Well, President Trump is for knocking the hell out of ISIS and doing it rapidly.
Right now, those voices are striking a chord, and even the Journal is acknowledging Trump's staying power. Maybe it's time to start imagining Mr. Trump come January 2017 in possession of the nuclear launch codes.
So many people in the business community and the Wall Street Journal never thought that Donald Trump would do as well as he's done and would be able to sustain that success. They waited too long, and they may be too late.
Well, the next line of attack on Trump is from super PACs with millions of dollars of negative ads. But as Luntz said, the remarkable thing about Trump is the more negative things people say about him, the more his supporters seem to like him. And if not, well, he said over the weekend he wasn't ruling out a third-party run. Gail?
All right, Jan. It just gets more interesting, doesn't it, day by day. Thank you, Jan.